So that is a musical number that is not problematic in any way. No, that seriously was in a Disney movie. Now, you can still see scenes like that on the newly launched Disney Plus, but there's a warning beforehand saying that these are cultural depictions that are of their time, which is another way of saying, man, you could get away with a lot of really blatant racism.
Right, it's like, hey, we weren't listening to marginalized communities back then, even less than we are now.
Like there was nobody within a mile of those animation studios that thought that's really bad.
Because that was still racist back then. It was still racist. It's just the people who that hurt didn't have as loud of a voice. You
or
weren't
any voice.
Forced, or any voice. You weren't forced to listen. And I hate that whole like, oh, things were different back then. No, they were not.
No, that was awful. That was awful then.
That was awful then.
It was.
You just didn't care a little less than you, like, it's just, I don't know. But
you were just so overwhelmingly powerful that you didn't have to give 1/10 of a damn.
And the thing is, the warning is good. I don't think wipe all the cartoons out. The warnings are good. It's just worded bad.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, but I was watching Fox News and they think this is actually bad to warn people about. So let's go to Laura Ingram's show.
Before you watch certain classic Disney films, Laura, Disney is posting warnings like this one for Dumbo.
What?
This program is presented as originally created. It may contain outdated cultural depictions.
About the elephant?
No, that's a reference to the Black Crows. Remember, they kind of use those minstrelly accents in the film. They smoke cigars. There are other warnings as well.
Warnings?
Beware of those Siamese cats in Lady and the Tramp, and an Asian cat playing piano with chopsticks in the Aristocats, and Tiger Lily and her daddy in Peter Pan, all old cultural depictions.
Can I say, I bet
be apologized for.
Literally no one ever noticed any of this.
Nobody.
But now people are gonna be looking, oh, what does that armadillo look like?
Here's the good news. The good news is they didn't cut these classic films.
Not yet.
Well, they're leaving them as cultural touchstones. Explain to kids why this is out of favor, or we don't talk that way anymore, or this is disrespectful to a certain race or a group of people. They can do that, but don't cut the work. Let people see it as it was originally envisioned.
When are they going to start worrying about the beleaguered conservative Christian class? Like, when do they go to get their apologies and their changes and their warnings? This is actually offensive to Christians.
Okay, I am no fan of Laura Ingraham, but she raises a good point. No one had ever noticed those stereotypes before.
Like, the crow's name is Jim Crow. Get out of here.
That's a coincidence.
So absurd.
In the Crow community, Jim is a very common name. Yes, nobody thought of I didn't even know about the chopsticks and the piano. That's crazy. And obviously the depictions of Native Americans that's crazy. Those, by the way, aren't even the most racist. There was one movie that they're not gonna put on. They put on all the rest, but they're not gonna be offering the 1946 film Song of the South, which has been criticized for racist depictions of black people and its ill-considered representation of slavery. The NAACP said in a statement that, quote, it regrets, however, that in an effort neither to offend audiences in the North or South, the production helps to perpetuate a dangerously glorified picture of slavery. The film unfortunately gives the impression of an idyllic master-slave relationship, which is a distortion of facts. So that's the one. But for the rest, Laura Ingraham is not a straight news person, I get that. She does opinion. But how can you say nobody had noticed those things?
Because that is the space she swims in.
But she's also just lying.
Right.
You're lying that you know nobody noticed that.
What is there to complain about? They went on this long rant about like, don't mangle, that didn't happen. They put a little sentence there.
Beforehand.
A little sentence that also is written in a way as to not offend people like Laura. Because the sentences were, it's not outdated. It was racist back then, it's racist now, and okay.
Well, it never says that it's racist. That's how safe it is.
Yeah, let these be teaching examples for kids. A lot of people, still love the films, and let's leave them up there because we made a lot of money, and let's talk about these. That's fine with me. Totally fine with me.
Okay, well look, I think it would be fine if they cut it.
I don't see what she was so mad about. It's just a sentence.
We know what she's mad about. She wants the racist stuff in there. Like, I think, okay, if I was watching Lady and the Tramp and all of a sudden they cut, I would be thinking, Well, based on the character development, I feel like they need a racist song right about now. And I feel like it's missing some sort of racist song about cats. But she apparently actually thinks that. She thinks, what's the point of watching Dumbo if I don't get to see racist depictions of black people from that time?
Right, like you are in a bad space in your life if you are so like deeply offended at the prospect of not being able to offend people. I don't want to live there.
And then of course the knee jerk, when are they gonna worry about the beleaguered conservative? Yeah, because were there tons of stereotypes of like 1940s era conservatives in America? Like dancing around or something? I don't think that happened. I don't think they had a lot of making fun of Christians at the time.
Who offends Christians? What offends
Nobody
Christians?
even now wants to offend Christians. That's how worried they are constantly. Anyway, just ridiculous.
I don't understand how like we can't have a sentence in front of Dumbo, but we can like boycott Starbucks because of a Happy Holidays cup, you know? It was still red.
Yeah, and by the way, so we some of these you got to go way far back, but there have been some issues more recently that are still up, and you don't have to go that far back. So some social media users were critical that the outdated cultural depictions message wasn't applied to the 1992 animated version of Aladdin or the 2013 adaptation of The Lone Ranger starring Johnny Depp as a Comanche character.
Also,
that was 6 years ago.
Pocahontas is horrific.
Yes, good songs, but there are some significant issues with that. Yeah, and they don't have it on that. So Disney has both done just enough to piss off crazy conservatives, but not enough to really come to grips with their past.
Yeah.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.